Again, my definition of data mesh is as inclusive as possible. So yes, of course, you may have some policies like don't take sweets from the strangers or data or whatever. The idea is, which you touched upon now, is maybe data mesh is not for you. If it's a big cost for you, yes, it's a costly solution. It's not solution which will fit every company and everybody should. I'm not the type of evangelist who now tries to convert everyone into data mesh believer or follower. Let's stop here.
So okay, so we'll talk in a second about who data mesh is for, but I still want to kind of drill a bit into what it is before we decide who it is for. So you mentioned again that that it's at least you mentioned to me. I don't know. I don't remember if it was mentioned in this episode, but you always mentioned to me that it's technology agnostic. Right,
it is
that it doesn't actually depend on a specific technological solution. But then a lot of this, so the computational governance, the self platform, they actually imply that there are certain requirements that are put on the technology underlying data mesh. So if you could spell out those requirements. So one is definitely that you should be able to put certain rules on your data product, right? So it cannot be just a public share on a network with your data files, because then you don't have any rules for the data itself. You may have some access rule for the share, but not really for the data. So that's not sufficient, right?
No. It depends on how strict you want to be around the definition. If restricting access is sufficient for your business case, and if you follow domain ownership, if you're treating data as a product is a detailed description and findable identification of what's in the shared folder, if there are certain rules governing mentioned access rights, or if they are not coded, but let's say they are described what you can do with this data after that. And if you have this tool, I don't know, can be a SharePoint, which serves you as this data platform, you can talk about sort of data mesh, because why not?
I'll challenge you here. I'll tell you why not. Because you explained to me that one of the kind of, maybe not one of the 4 principles, but an important concept in data mesh is the versioning of the data product. I remember we had a whole discussion about the fact that if you put a data product out and people start using it, then if you want to make a change to your data product, and for example, you had a field that was a number, now you want to be a bit more generic, so you change it to text. You cannot do this just by modifying it. You have to release a new version, right?
Yes.
So how would you version?
You should. I think it's the difference between could and should. Because what I'm trying not to become is too fanatic about certain solutions. Because if there is no business need for versioning, maybe it's an overkill. So it all depends. Like if somebody needs version data, which is very often
version
the case.
Data products, not version data itself, right?
Oh, there are cases where you need version data.
Two different things.
Yeah, but sometimes you also need version data. But if you need versioned data, I went deeper. So you also have a version data product. Then you need to develop tooling, and SharePoint probably is not the best one for you. But if you don't need it as a business, you can use SharePoint, and as long as ownership is localized, as long as this data is treated as a product in a remit required by your business, and if you have this federated governance model where these domain owners have their ability to act with business people, and there is a central governance ensuring that there are some certain policies ensuring, compliance, or whatever it is that in your business needs to be decided on a central level, then why not? It's again, I don't want people to believe that the data mesh is something which is really well defined and everything else is wrong. It won't work as a data mesh. It's very business. What I like about this approach and this architecture, it's very focused on business needs. It's very focused on business domains. It's very focused on providing, extracting value from data. So you create data, you have your data, let others extract value from it. Will you have versioned data products? If you have such an ability and business need, go for it. If you don't, well, hey ho.
Listen to Between Data and Risk podcast